Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Truth, Tall Tales, and Whiskey. We got Mr. Matt James from Blacktop Mojo out here. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man.
Hell
How are you
yeah.
guys?
Good, good. I believe Brandon set this up, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all been taking Braden on tour with y'all and everything? I guess this is how y'all met?
Well, we played a few shows. We played a couple in Oklahoma up there. Take that as you will. I don't know what that means.
Hell yeah.
I felt like I should say something after that, and I didn't have nothing.
Those are the only two so far.
Yeah.
Far.
Oh,
And then Braden and I played a song swap in Atlanta a couple weeks ago. It was awesome.
Hell yeah. Y'all came in here?
We rescued a baby possum, and its name is Baby GJ.
Yeah.
For George Jones.
Still kicking?
Still kicking.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, somebody took it home, man.
Oh, so
That's amazing.
I thought you were saying you took it home.
Dude,
No, I didn't take it home.
amazing.
Unfortunately, I already have a little baby possum. He's 3 years old. His name's Samson, but I can't.
That's why the whole
Yeah.
possum conversation got brought up earlier?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I showed y'all the video of me finding one on the job site?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, man, there's this girl, we got off stage, and this girl had a little baby possum. She was like, hey, come check out what's in my hoodie pocket. And I was like,
What the fuck?
I don't know about that. I got a girlfriend, man. And then and then she was like, no, check it out. And there's a little baby possum just nuzzled up in her hoodie pocket.
This
And,
all
then
still
we
sounds
named-
like a metaphor.
And we
to me.
named it Baby GJ. Yeah.
Baby George Jones.
George Jones, yeah,
Hell
the
yeah.
possum. Yeah.
All right, so
And she took it home. She took it home. She asked her mom if she could sleep in her bed with it. So I think it's living pretty good.
living his best life.
Wait, so she had just found that possum?
Yeah. There's a gang of possums.
A gang?
There was a gang of possums that ran through the
That
bar
can't
while
be
we were
real.
playing.
They're out there throwing up gang signs?
Yeah, man. They were
Well,
Crips.
that's
yeah.
That's pretty bold.
Oh,
I have never
Yeah.
walked up on a possum and thought, I'm going to pick that thing up. Never once.
No,
I literally did that.
she took it home.
you're not country.
She was
enough.
like, it's sleeping in my bed tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, I found one on a job site like a month ago. Like pulled the cap off my water bottle because it's a little baby. It was just by
pick it
itself
up,
in the middle
though?
of the job site. Yeah, I put
You
my
bottle-
hand, I put my hand down and it like walked into my hand. I was like, oh, well, your
You
name's
bottle
Frank.
fed
Your
a
name's
possum?
Frank now, and you're mine.
That's awesome. You bottle fed a possum?
Yeah,
That's sick.
he's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't
Little
get-
baby Frank.
I didn't get to keep him though.
Yeah.
I'm upset about that, but it's okay.
Fuck yeah.
But all right. Anyways, back to
did
what we were talking
anything
about.
normal
Sorry.
happen on this tour?
That's what we're talking about. From Mr. Rusk. You're from Rusk, Texas.
I'm from Rusk, Texas.
Yeah, middle of damn nowhere.
Yes,
That's
sir.
close to Palestine.
It is.
Not
and
Palestine.
Palestine's where I live now. So,
Not
yeah.
Palestine.
I really
Palestine.
got the hell out of
gotta
town,
say
and I
it
moved
quickly.
20 minutes away from where I grew up.
Right on.
So how'd you get your start in music?
I used to be the annoying guy at parties in college. That was like, I got an acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
Hey, here's Wonderwall. You know.
Wonderwall.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
Not-
playing Wonderwall with those vocals must have been fucking incredible. Because your vocals are insane.
Thank you, brother.
Will you cover that song tonight?
Do what?
Wonderwall?
Will I perform? Yeah, I definitely.
Absolutely.
We have to, as long as you guys will sing it with me.
So anyways, here's
Yeah.
Wonderwall. And
I know
I
it.
need a full
behind it.
choir behind me if we're going to do Wonderwall.
That's the only way it works.
Yes. No, man. I had an apartment by myself when I was in college, and I spent more time playing guitar than I did studying. Told my dad one night, "Hey, I think I want to do music," and you don't know what that means when you're 19, 20 years old or whatever. And he was like, "Finish college first," and I was like, "Deal." And right after that, I went to my advisor, and I was like, "What's the fastest way that I can finish college?" So then I took like 21 hours in one semester, and then took a couple summer classes, and he was like, "They'll mail you your diploma. You're done," you know. So I did that, and then I moved to Palestine, and there was a place there called the Old Magnolia Mercantile. It's like like a coffee shop type of place, and my buddy's uncle owned it, and he was like, "Hey, come be a manager for me over here, and we want to start doing music. You can book the acoustic acts." if you can't find anybody to play, then you can play, because he knew I played music or whatever. And I was like, oh, awesome. So there was a lot of nights where I was like, I couldn't find anybody. I don't know what happened, man. Because
Probably more nights than not.
yeah, probably more.
I just wrote this song. I want to play it.
Yeah,
tonight.
probably more nights than not. And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, because this is way better than making coffee and sandwiches.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's how I started, and then I met our drummer. He's from Palestine, and we met at like different parties and bars and stuff. And Brandon could tell you, you know, when you play music, everybody kind of is like, oh, well, that guy plays music too. Y'all should start a band, dude. Y'all should do it, man. And it was kind of like that. We kind of brushed each other off for a little while, and then we back when the Electric Cowboy was a thing up in Tyler. Before it closed down, Cody Johnson was playing at the Electric Cowboy, and me and my now drummer ran into each other. I was like, man, hey, we're drunk as hell, and I'm like, hey, man, I'm playing at the coffee shop tomorrow. You got to come in, man. You got to check it out, and you know.
Hell yeah.
And he likes to tell the story like he's a A&R guy from a record company. He was like, yeah, I came in with a couple buddies, and we checked this kid out, and he was pretty good, you know, or whatever, and I went to his house that night, and I showed up with a handle of Crown and my guitar, and he had his drum set up in his living room. He lived in this split-level house that's since burned down. I think God burned it down, to be honest with you, from all the stuff. But he had a drum set up in his living room, and he kind of like he was like, let me show you what I can do, basically, you know, so you know what you're getting into. And he's a really badass drummer. Don't ever tell him I said that.
I'm gonna tell him.
Don't tell him, please. Don't tell him.
All right.
No, he knows.
I'll probably watch this at some point.
Yeah, maybe he would. But yeah, he did that, and I was like, all right, let's start a band, you know. And we sat out on his balcony that night and finished that bottle of Crown and figured out how we were gonna start a band. That's how we got into this.
So at a certain point after starting the band, y'all decided it was a good idea to grab a house together?
Yeah. So we'd been playing around for a little while, and I think it was like 2016, 2017, somewhere in there. We were like, we want to go full time. We want to do this, you know. And our drummer had the best credit, so he signed for the house, and we all moved in, and it was a 4-bedroom house. And then one of us lived off campus there, you know, not too far from the house. And we all got in there and lived there for about 5 years, man, in a little band house, and started just the first month was super scary, man. We used to share a bank account together.
Shit.
Everybody had their
It's like a marriage.
well, yeah, like nobody had their own job, you know what I mean? So we all just kind of shared a bank account. So it'd be a thing where you were like, hey, can I go buy some peanut butter and some bread at the store? Man, I'm about to go buy some groceries. Does anybody want anything? You know,
Hell yeah.
that type of thing. And we lived like that for a while.
How'd the band name come about? Blacktop Mojo.
Blacktop Mojo. So whenever Nathan lived at that house that I met him at, he had a job at a flooring store. He was a flooring salesman, a very good one, I might add.
Hell yeah.
Put that in there. But I was living with my grandparents. It was like I was doing my summer job. So my granddad, he sold fertilizer equipment, so chicken shit spreaders and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And my summer job was to wash the chicken shit spreaders and get in those stainless steel fertilizer spreaders in the middle of July in Texas, you know. So, you know, every time you touch the side, your hand just feels like it's a piece of bacon, you know.
Hey, you was having a good time.
Yeah, we were having a good time. My granddad was like, you can do this, you can go to college. And I was like, all right, I'm going to go to college, I think. And then after I got out of college, I needed something to do, so I went back to work for him. And anyway, I was doing that, and this was after me and Nathan had made friends, decided we were going to start a band, and we were trying to figure out a band name. You kind of, you know how it goes. I mean, you can't, nothing sounds good, whatever. But I showed up to his house, and he basically kind of had like the party house where it was like always unlocked, and everybody you never knew when you were going to show up. Even if he wasn't there, there was probably somebody there.
Just random people sleeping on
Yeah,
the couches
random.
and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah. So
probably
I showed up to the house, and a couple of his buddies came out with a handle of Jim Beam. Was like, "Hey, you want to go back roading with us?" And I was like, well, "I got nothing better to do, you know." And so we went and drove around, and we was listening to the trailer tapes by Chris Knight. That really
Fucking
doesn't.
A.
That really doesn't pertain to the story. It just makes us sound cooler than we are. But we went and back roaded, and I needed something to stir my drink with, whiskey and Dr. Pepper, and one of his buddies was a big duck hunter, and he had a Mojo brand duck decoy, and he was like, "Oh, you can have this Mojo key," and something, I guess, in drunk brain just kind of went off.
Because we're cruising on the blacktop.
Yeah, we were out cruising on the blacktop, whatever, and we came back, and we
That is
were
a killer name, though.
we were messed up, and we were like, Blacktop Mojo's the name, dude.
It is cool that worked out because
Yeah.
usually those sort of drunk suggestions,
Yeah.
the next day you go, what were we thinking?
Oh, they hated it at first, I think, and I was already like, I already started a Facebook page and got a website. We're like, dude, we're stuck with it, man. Yeah,
Better be glad he ran into that possum later.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I want to go back to your college. Okay, so I hear you have a degree in something fancy sounding, some kind of biomedical.
Yeah.
So is that legit?
You have a
Or did you-
degree?
Or did you like select something like super easy that sounds cool?
No, so I was pre-med when I was in college, so I wanted to be an anesthesiologist because I was like, they make the most money out of all the doctors or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whatever you think when you're in high school, you know what I mean? And so I was pre-med, and then I did the whole thing about, like, I want to finish college the fastest, and they were like, well, this will switch your major from pre-med to biomedical science. And I was like, that sounds cool. Let's do that. That actually sounds better than pre-med, to be honest with you. So, yeah.
So you have a degree in biomedical science?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking A.
Yeah.
Got a scholar.
I don't even
Yeah.
have a
Scholar.
degree.
Sounds smart. I've never used it. I don't know. Don't quote me on nothing,
If I
you know.
decide to quit music right now,
He's like, hey, I got a rash. What does this look like? You know, like, I don't know.
You got AIDS, Bubba. You got AIDS.
You got AIDS, dude.
Listen, sweetie, so when you get done with this music hobby, you have something to fall back on.
Yeah.
Your little music thing.
Yeah. My little music thing. Yeah.
I do want to talk about, there's a tour coming up.
We got a tour.
Let's talk about that tour
Yep.
coming up.
Yeah.
How'd that all come about?
So we have the Texas Tailgate Tour coming up. We're starting in Florida, in Tampa, and then we're going up the East Coast, and then a little bit over into the Midwest because we love the Midwest.
Oh, yeah.
And
Bunch of animals up there.
bunch of animals. Goddamn.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. And then we're coming home. But that came about a little while back. I think we were on tour overseas or something, and Gillis, our drummer, who is now our manager,
Nathan?
Nathan, yeah, same guy from the stories. He's our manager now, and he's really good.
That's awesome.
He's
Nathan was one of the founding members, right?
yeah,
Wasn't
yeah. It was me and him, man. Me and
he?
him.
Awesome.
I got videos of us at Old Magnolia Mercantile at the coffee shop playing "Can't You See" and stuff like that. You know what I mean? This was kind of all his brainchild, man. He was like, "We need to go on tour. We haven't hit these places in a while." And then we had met you guys and done those shows in Oklahoma with you guys, and you guys are signed to the label, to the Come On Records, which he's the head guy.
Head
You know what I
honcho.
mean?
Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Come on.
Come on, yeah.
That's awesome.
And he was like, "What if we took Brayton?" You know, and everybody in our camp was like, "Of course, yeah, that's a great idea, man." Because we had just done those shows in Oklahoma, and they went really well, and you guys kick ass. So yeah,
Kid's killer.
It's a good mix too.
Yeah.
You know, the two bands, like, it's different enough to be interesting.
Yeah.
But the same enough to hold, the interest of the folks that would come to see Blacktop Mojo.
absolutely, man.
It vibes really well.
Yeah, I talked to Braden
too
about it,
small.
and it's really, really cool, and it is sort of a testament to how cool y'all are. I remember doing the first tour that I ever did was such a shot in the dark, man. Like we would show up to a place and literally played in front of one other band and a bartender.
Yeah.
You know, and so
We did that
Braden's-
tour.
Yeah.
Well, I know where you guys played. No.
Just kidding.
I was the bartender.
Yeah.
No, but it's really cool, and I don't think it's lost on Braden that the first actual tour that he's ever going to be on is in front of your crowd, you know, and there are people there every night, you know.
Hopefully.
That's cool.
Fingers crossed. man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's been my experience that there are. So,
I have a question about that. Y'all got to open up for Bon Jovi, of all people.
Yeah, man.
Tell us a little bit about that. That had to be like a crazy
That's fucking
experience.
nuts.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. So
To go from 100,
They-
you know,
yeah, they were so Bon Jovi did this really cool thing on their tour back in 2016, 17, something like that.
not too long ago.
Not too long
Yeah.
ago. Where every town that they went to, they basically just ran a contest and they just selected a local band to be
That's
their
right. It was a
to be their
contest, yeah.
opener.
Oh,
So and all you had to do was like submit your original music, like your music video or whatever. And then they just picked out of the thing and we got picked for the Dallas date. So we got to open up for them in American Airlines Center.
That's
Oh,
fucking
that's
dope.
huge.
And yeah, that shit was so crazy, man. And I remember we had to show up like 8 hours before the show.
Yeah.
Because they keep a tight thumb on you because they don't know who they got opening up for them.
Yeah,
when
they
they
got-
Random ass
they
people.
got-
yeah, it's random folks.
They got to see what they got themselves.
Exactly.
into.
So
Yeah.
they have you show up really early and you load in and you sound check and stuff. And I remember in sound check I messed up a song. Like I kind of like forgot the words because
Oh,
they
yeah,
were
yeah.
they were like
Dude,
they were
yeah.
setting all the chairs out in the stadium. And I remember just being
And you're singing to nobody, so it's like,
yeah, and you're singing to nobody at the
yeah.
time, but the crew and stuff,
Yeah.
and they were setting out all the chairs, and I remember that really messing with me because it was like that is so many chairs,
absolutely. I would be
right? And yeah, I remember going back. They had us in like the visitors' locker room or something like that. That was like our dressing room
Yeah.
for the day, and I remember going back to the dressing room and everybody being like, "Do you got this, man?" And I'm like, yes. And then for
Just
the
so many
next,
chairs.
yeah, and then like for the next like 4 or 5 hours, I was just pacing back and forth, like doing that song over and over in my head. Like I know the song, right? You know?
did you nail it?
Yeah. It went off without a hitch during the show.
That's
for
cool.
sure.
You would have had to change your name to Blacktop No-Go.
Yeah.
Dude, that's good. That's
Cheers.
Brandon-
Cheers to that.
Brandon with the
That
random
was-
one-liner. What the
Hey,
fuck?
with a one-liner. Yes,
You're
sir.
all welcome.
That's all.
So now, how many albums deep are you?
Yeah, we are 5 albums deep now,
That's amazing.
and 5 albums and 1 EP. We put out an EP during COVID. That
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Y'all just dropped the album last April, right?
Yep.
What was it, Paul?
Yeah.
Paulin?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
was into it. It's
You
fucking
done your
golden.
research, Bubba.
I was
like
jamming the fuck out of your
Yeah.
music.
Which truly is
He's
my
got
favorite.
every song.
Yeah.
for sure.
That record is killer, man. It's
Thanks,
such
man.
a cool record.
Dude, y'all sound is yeah, it's it.
It's your
Thank
own.
you, man.
Like I was telling you earlier, the first song that I heard was when y'all did for Chris Cornell's birthday.
Oh
the,
yeah, yeah.
The getaway car with you and Dylan Wheeler.
Yeah, yeah. That
Fucking
was fun,
incredible.
man.
Just the vocals.
Dylan's crazy, man.
How do you know? How do you know Dylan?
Dylan,
he's
we've known
like-
Dylan for a long time, man. Now, Dylan's an awesome dude, man. I think the first time we met him, he opened up for us. He was like the first of 3 on a show at Silver Saloon here in Terrell.
Yep.
That's
And just kind of got acquainted with him, made friends with him, and he had the producer that did all of our albums do his first record, I believe, and I went in there and did a co-write with him. He was nice enough to let me do that, and yeah, we just known him ever since. And then he got on and started touring with Co and stuff, and it's been really cool to watch him like
dude,
just
he's
blown
Yeah.
up, dude. It's super cool, man.
He's a solid dude.
Yeah.
I swear, the last thing that somebody shared with me about Dylan, it was at Cowboys. or no, not Cowboys. Hanks and McKinney.
Okay, yeah.
Somebody was talking shit to him, and they were talking shit about his wife.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he
Oh God.
he laid him out.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So,
I
yeah,
know the
do you
name. I know the name.
Yeah, I know the story, man.
But I know this is controversial, but
No,
That
I
wasn't
know.
at Hanks. That was a Silver Saloon.
Yeah.
That
was it Silver Saloon? It was.
Yeah.
Silver
But
Saloon.
No, I know the story. That shit happened right before we did that co-write.
But
I know the story.
and he was
I know
showing
who
me
he
the-
knocked out
Bro,
too.
He was showing me the security video. Of the
Yes,
fight.
that's what I saw.
Boy.
The
Yeah.
security
Yeah.
video. But I'll tell you what. That
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with that big old boy, dude.
I mean, I wouldn't either. But that
Yeah.
made me love him more. I was like,
Yeah.
he's gonna stand up for his wife in this.
Well, he's a real dude, man.
Yes,
He's
exactly.
fucking
Real.
cool as shit, dude.
And he's a good dude.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
100%.
How did the coming together of two vocal powerhouses like that come together to do the getaway car thing? Because the first time I saw it was a video
y'all
and all.
both
Dude,
have
I mean,
a
that
strong voice
Yeah,
like that.
I think we were out on tour. I remember Nathan calling him. And Nathan kept in touch with him a lot, and they would just kind of call each other. And we were thinking about doing a cover, like a Chris Cornell cover, and that song came up, and he was like, "Oh, dude, we've already been covering that song,"
perfect song.
and we were like, "Let's do it, man!" You know, and we ended up doing it at Rosewood in Tyler, Texas.
The video,
that studio up there.
Rosewood
Production,
Studios?
video,
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Production, video, everything. That was fucking badass.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, speaking of teaming up with folks, let's talk about the Mark Morton record.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So for the folks that don't know, I didn't even know this until you had posted it. That you sang. How many songs on that record did you sing? Was it one or two?
I did one. I did
Okay.
one. Yeah.
So I saw that and I was like, oh man, that was that moment. I was like, I know this guy because I love Lamb of God.
Yeah.
Killer band.
Who don't?
Yeah. But I saw that you did that, but then you also did the album release.
Yeah.
And sang at the album release
Yeah.
in Nashville, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We did that. Yeah.
That's pretty killer.
Yeah. So Lamb of God, we had a manager by the name of Larry Mazer that used to manage us, and he also used to manage Lamb of God. He kind of helped.
That's
He-
wild.
I don't know at what point in their career. I think he helped them in the early days of Lamb of God and stuff like that. But we were doing a Shiprocked one year, and Lamb of God was headlining, and Mark was doing like an acoustic set, and he had Mark Morales of Sons of Texas. I don't know if you guys know that band, but if you don't, you should look it up. It's badass.
Sons of Texas.
Sons of Texas. Yeah. So Mark was singing for him, but he had lunch with Larry, our old manager, and was like, would Matt want to do like a couple of acoustic songs for my acoustic set? And he called me up and I was like, well, yeah, fuck yeah.
Absolutely.
That would be awesome. And so then I think we kind of became friends on the boat there, and he called me up a little while after that, and they just started doing their own cruise a couple years ago called Headbangers Boat. It's really badass. It's got a bunch of really heavy bands, and yeah, it's super fun time. And he let me come and sing for the first solo set that he did on the boat. Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 days, and,
That's sweet.
yeah,
They were rocking the boat.
yeah, we were rocking the
Yeah.
boat, man. And then he called me up a little while after, I think the first boat, I don't remember the exact timeline or whatever, but he called me up and was like, hey, man, I'm making a record. Would you want to come to Nashville and sing on a couple of songs? And I was like, yeah, dude, that'd be sick.
Like screaming real quick off the mic. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So then, yeah, he had me in for that, and then the record finally just came out a couple months ago now in April, and it's called Without the Pain. So yeah,
And it's killer.
yeah.
Name
Thank
name some of the other vocalists on that record.
He had a bunch of people. He had like Cody Jinks. He had Charlie Starr from Blackberry Smoke. He had
Blackberry Smoke.
Nikki Lane. Yeah, Nikki Lane. That was
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Oh, listen,
having
you named at least
Yeah.
the two that I was looking for.
yeah.
Cody Jenks.
There's a bunch of very talented musicians on that record. It's really cool. I think the guy that played the keyboards on the record, he used to play keyboards for the Black Keys, man. The Black Crows. Not the
Black
Keys.
Crows?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's killer.
yeah.
That was when you posted that you had done that record. I was like, in my house, I was like, I know that guy. I said it out loud. I know that guy.
Yeah,
That's killer, man.
yeah.
So obviously you're very
It's
well
cool.
traveled and you've had a lot of experiences. What's on the bucket list? Like after doing this much and being this successful, like what's on the bucket list?
Oh man, we're still working just like anybody else, man. But I think playing Red Rocks is definitely on my bucket list.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
That's been a big one we talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Red Rocks
I mean you
Crazy
always want to see
fucking
your
venue.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
That'd be cool shit. Like top of the top if you're like just dreaming. Madison Square Garden, would be cool. I mean, to see your name on that marquee would be
Bucket
absolutely. Yeah, that's bucket list shit. You were talking about
Yes,
bucket list, you know.
absolutely.
It may not be realistic, but it's bucket list shit.
We're gonna
you
speak
know?
it into existence.
Yeah,
list.
yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah.
For sure.
It is cool, the sound. I think like also the sort of high gain rock sound is making a real appearance back into sort of the mainstream again. You
Yeah.
know?
Y'all
I think,
hold that very well.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
I mean, wasn't Sleep Token and Ghost
Yeah,
like it was 2 weeks apart or something? Hit #1 on the Billboard charts for the
Yeah.
first time in like 4 or 5 years.
yeah.
Sleep Token.
Finally a rock.
Very well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of cool that that's kind of people are coming back to that. You want to
Yeah,
hear
man.
gritty guitars and
It's
something
kind of,
real.
It's kind of like gritty guitars, hard rock, but also mixed with good songwriting though too.
Yeah, for sure. For
Like
sure.
y'all have like, and this is throwing it way back, but y'all got Soundgarden vibes.
Thank
you
you,
know
bro.
what I mean?
He's
All
like,
that
shit,
stuff.
this is a good compliment.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
dude, Chris Cornell's one of my favorite
Yes.
vocalists of all time. So I mean, yeah.
So, with y'all's latest release, do y'all have any new songs that you've written coming up soon?
Yeah, man. So we're gonna be touring pretty much through September, I think, and then we've been talking about after that just getting together and writing another record and
Awesome.
and being able to put out another record next year. So
Good.
Hell
Yeah.
I bet you're not moving in a house with all of them this time.
no, man. So that kind of slowly, we really actually kind of suddenly faded away. Actually, we were on tour and Gillis, it was. I don't know, a bunch of weird stuff happened during COVID, and then house prices like skyrocketed, and Gillis was like, well, we could sell the house for this, and we were like, well, do it,
Yeah.
and
Fuck yeah.
Money in your pocket.
and at that point, I think Gillis had gotten married, a couple of other guys were like engaged and stuff, some of us were having kids, and so we were all kind of growing out of the house, you can't forever, you can't be in the band house forever with kids running around and everybody living in the same place.
I feel like every band member has had a band house at some point.
Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah,
can. As you
for
get older,
sure.
you can do it. I think it transforms.
You can.
more
I think they
into
start calling it a cult.
cult.
At a certain
That's what I was
point.
gonna say.
yeah.
You took the words out of my mouth,
30
man.
Seconds
Stole my joke.
Yeah. yeah.
So you mentioned Chris Cornell.
Yeah.
I want you to fire off some of these influences you had, because there's a 20-year-old kid right now that may be listening to this interview. You're gonna give him some
Braden Stewart.
Or a
advice.
20-year-old kid that's
Braden
going on
Stewart.
tour with him.
Or a 20-year-old kid.
Yeah.
You're gonna be giving him advice.
He
on
gives
what to
me
listen
advice.
to.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Old man right
What
now.
That kid's something else.
What
But-
inspired you? What did you model your voice after? What just really did it for you?
Oh man.
That's your favorite question to ask. Right?
I love it.
I love that question.
I'm a vocal.
Yeah.
I
I
like
did
that.
too.
You know what?
That's a good question.
I when I was in high school, I used to. This might sound corny or whatever, but when my parents would like leave me at home by myself at the house, they'd like take my sister to softball or whatever the hell,
Yeah.
and I would try to do like Shinedown's first records were real big
Oh yeah.
when I was in high
yeah.
school.
Yes.
So I would try to do like
Yeah.
the, and I'm staring down the barrel
Yes.
of a you know, I mean, just that was terrible, but yeah, yeah.
Pretty good.
But like,
I feel like you'd hit that if you wanted to.
but yeah, like those records and like Three Doors Down and just like I don't know,
Seether.
man, like Seether, yeah,
Yes.
definitely some Seether,
Oh yeah.
yeah, absolutely, man.
Fuck yeah.
Good stuff.
So you're a rocker through and through then.
Yeah, man, I would say so. I really got into when I got off into college. I mean, I got off into Texas country. I mean, I got off into like Randy Rogers and Cross Canadian Ragweed and Casey Donahue and stuff. I mean, that was like,
Stuff, yeah.
well, it was like
I feel like y'all.
it's hard to explain to people like outside of the state of Texas, but like that's like the social gathering of like if you're a single guy or whatever, you're
That's
like, I'm going to the Randy Rogers concert because we're gonna find some chicks or yeah, you're a Stony LaRue or like
Oh yeah.
or like yeah, Cross Canadian or whatever. And that was like those guys were really popping when I was like in college and like 18, 19 years old and
Absolutely.
so like really got into that type of music, and that was right around the time that I started learning how to play guitar and sing and stuff. So that's kind of the stuff that I would annoyingly sing in the corner of parties at college. Or whatever, yeah.
Y'all's band kind of weirdly bridges the gap
That's what I was.
between those heavy bands, but then also all those like Oklahoma and Texas songwriters.
Yeah, y'all sound
Yeah,
blends
yeah.
those perfectly.
It does.
Thank you.
That's exactly
That's
what
the
I was about to
coolest-
say before
in the
Jeremy said it.
best way,
Probably the
too.
coolest compliment I've ever gotten in my
In the
life.
best way.
Yeah.
It blends like a heavier version of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's perfect.
But you're kind of going to lean more on that, the singer-songwriter thing, right? You've got a solo record that you're working on, right?
Yeah. I've got a solo thing just
Yeah.
under my name or whatever. Started putting out some songs last year, I think, with that. And it's kind of cool because you can kind of do more of the folksy stuff. That's not as heavy, not as rock and roll driven.
See, and that's what I'm excited to
And
hear.
like, yeah.
Because, I mean, I was blown away the first time I saw you sing. I was like, man, that dude, where does his range stop?
Well, I
Haven't
played-
seen it yet?
Well, I played like one of the songs. Braden was like, "You got to play that Little White Orchid song," and I think
That's such a good
I'm gonna
song,
try to
man.
That's
I'm gonna try to record that one for the solo record or whatever.
That's killer.
Yeah, you go from that and then your cover of Dream On by Aerosmith and you hit the fucking high note at the end. It's fucking insane.
Y'all's
Thank you.
cover of "Come Pick Me Up" though, that drove.
That
it
was
home.
cool, man.
That
That
was
was
so
cool.
sick.
That was fun. Me and Braden, we were hanging out at a house in Nashville. Me and him were playing at Riley Green's Duck Blind. It used to be
Really?
used to be Winners. Cause there's two bars. It used to be Winners and Losers right next to each other, and I think Riley Green bought Winners,
Yeah.
and so we played like a showcase out there. Me and him,
Yeah.
me and him and Dylan Wheeler actually
Hell yeah.
was there too. But we had like a couple days in this
I remember hearing
Airbnb,
about
and he started playing "Come Pick Me Up," and I just started like singing with him or whatever, and he was like, "We should do that." I was like, "Yeah, that'd be cool, man."
that.
Yeah.
It was very
Yeah.
fucking cool.
What I've
And then we
found
did-
out about Braden is, so when we went back to the house in Nashville after we did that show in Nashville,
Yeah.
Braden is strangely the only guy that can still sing
Yeah.
when he's been drinking.
Super fucked.
yeah. The two of us are
Allegedly.
like,
Yeah.
Allegedly been.
I got a song.
Yeah, you were out there, dude. It was crazy, dude. He was like, "Hey, play this song," and I'm like, "Yeah, bro." yeah.
Yeah, I lose it after a few drinks. I'm gone.
Yeah.
Well,
It's not happening.
I'm the same way. I'll usually make a public service announcement like, this is not going to go well.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then it doesn't. But you hand a guitar to
Yeah.
Braden.
Then you crush it on the
And
back porch.
Yeah, no matter what, that he just
He's got it.
yeah. And in a room full of drunk people are like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous. This
Yeah.
guy. But
He did it.
he did it.
He did it. He did it. I think at the end of the night, by the end of the night, we were like, he was trying to hand the guitar off, and we're like,
I'm going to bed.
no, I don't think so.
We're not gonna follow
Hey,
that.
play us another song. Play us another one. And he
we
was
don't
like,
even-
all right. Yeah.
We don't even want to fucking play anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
So Pat from Yellow Rose he would be asleep on the couch And but he's apparently just like steadily listening to everything that's going on. And so Braden would like play a song, and then he'd pipe up, "Hey, play this song," and then he'd be back asleep.
Yeah.
How old is he?
Just over
Patty,
vibing.
Patty's passed out, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
How old's Pat?
Pat's probably
like something I
Pat's
do,
my
that's why.
age, probably. I mean,
Oh, okay,
yeah, I
okay.
get you.
33, 34, something like that.
We're guessing, yeah, because I can't place him. I really,
Yeah, you
if I
can't-
were
He's in his
That
30s.
sounds like
He's in his
something I
30s.
do, so he's got to
Yeah.
be in his 30s.
How old
He's
do you,
in his 30s.
How old do you think Brandon is?
Brandon's like 45, man. He
Yeah,
just
he
looks
actually
really
is
good.
over 40.
Yeah, but he,
Yeah.
looks 20, he looks 25.
He gets carded anytime he tries to buy anything.
He's getting
Yeah, I
he's
believe
getting
it.
cold
I feel
over here
like I'm,
standing by
I'm
the
pretty
air
sure
conditioner.
Matt
Look at
and,
this cat.
Matt and I have had this conversation
Yeah.
before, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're having it again.
Well, I was
goddamn
like,
it.
I had the opposite problem. Like when I was in college, I looked like 47, so I could just walk into a liquor store. I was like the guy that they were like, "Hey, go buy beer for."
It's
You
the
know?
beer though.
Motherfucker, I ain't got
Everybody
idea
needs
either.
that guy, though.
I can
Yeah.
kind of, I can kind of
I
see.
thought of the guy that did that for me when you said that.
Yeah.
I can kind of see the baby face
His name
under
was
that
Garrett.
beard. What happens when that beard's all gone?
I don't know, man. I've had the beard
been
for
so long.
Let's shave it right now.
Let's go on the podcast.
On the-
Here we go.
That would be a new one.
Yeah.
So, y'all's next tour, y'all are bringing Braden Stewart out with y'all
Yes, sir.
Fucking A.
out of the kindness of y'all's own hearts. That's
Well, I mean, he's coming out of the kindness of his heart,
He-
or their heart.
He's coming.
I
Yeah.
agree.
He's coming. Yeah, they're going to
time
accompany
I
us on this
sneeze.
tour out of the
No, this
kindness
is-
of their own heart.
This is an
man.
amazing
Yeah.
duo with y'all too.
It's a
gonna be good.
fucking incredible duo.
Yeah, we're really glad to be having him, man.
That is the wonderful thing about a tour like this, because I really do feel like when you have the right people that are all traveling together, it doesn't matter how
Oh,
it
man.
goes.
Yeah.
You're,
it's
you're
gonna be
all
good.
buddies, you know. So
I feel like
we're gonna
there's
have a
gonna
good
be
time.
some good music written, like just on the bus and after the show.
Oh, yeah.
and, like,
Yeah.
good music. I'm gonna come back with so many one-liners that I'm gonna take, I'm gonna say I said them.
Yeah, you should.
I'm not gonna say
Well, this is
that
the-
Matt said it. You know.
No.
This is the first
That's
episode
a
you popped
no-go.
off with a one-liner. They're rubbing off on you already.
we
So when
we are going to come up with so many one-liners. That's the whole goal of the tour, to be honest with you.
So when it
They're gonna come back a comedy tour.
Yeah. Terrible comedy tour.
when it comes to songwriting, do you have like a specific process, or is it like all over the place for you?
It kind of is all over the place, man. It could be a song that I wrote like by myself in my bedroom, and I got
You
the
kinda
chord
take
structure and
inspiration
everything.
from-
Or it could be that we got in a room and the band is like just jamming on some
yeah.
crazy riff and stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
hang on, play that again, or like,
Yeah.
hang on, I've got this stuff, and then I yell it in a microphone, and they're like, that's pretty cool, and then we just continue from there. You know, it could be completely
That's awesome.
collaborative. I mean, most of the songs, if I'm being honest, are really collaborative, because like even if I write a song in my bedroom by myself, I'm the worst fucking musician in our band, and so I need real musicians to step in and be like, okay, we could do this here, and like we could go to this chord here, and
Hell
like
yeah.
and make it a little more interesting. You know what I mean? So,
And they are
yeah.
some players, man. Like,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
are so good.
Yeah.
Malcolm definitely caught me like staring at his pedal board.
Yeah, that fucking aircraft carrier he fucking carries
Hey,
around.
Brandon is a gear guy
Yeah.
though.
The first,
so-
the first night when we were in Tulsa at the shrine, I was standing off the side of the stage, and he made eye contact with me. And I'm just like looking at his board,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure he was like, "I saw you looking at that."
Malcolm, for those of you guys listening to this podcast, Malcolm has the biggest pedal board
you've ever seen.
that I have ever seen. One man have, and I'll try to get a picture of it so that we can put it up on this here
we need to
podcast.
post that on social
Yeah,
media.
yeah.
He did tell-
Because it is ridiculous the amount of pedals he has.
He told me there was like damn near an intervention, and he was like,
Yeah.
said, there are people in the band that have said, "Do you need all that?" And then he just paused and he looked at me and goes, "Yeah."
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
really?
we just keep giving him shit about it every time we have to pick the motherfucker up and put it on the stage. We're like, oh, God, got Malcolm's goddamn pedal board again. Yeah,
That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
he sold naming rights to his first child for a fucking big muff, and yeah, yeah.
Now his
There
kids
you
are
go.
named after an LLC.
Yeah, Yeah. They're named after an LLC. Hell yeah.
So, anybody you want to shout out while you're here?
Braden Stewart.
Hell yeah.
Dude.
Oh,
yeah,
Beast Stew? Always.
Yeah, Beast Stew's coming on tour with us. We're going on a tour called the Texas Tailgate Tour in June. Starts June 13th in Tampa, Florida. It's going to be a good time.
Oh
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
Fuck it.
Y'all come check us out, man. BlacktopMojo.com.
Blacktop Mojo.
Blacktopmojo.com.
Hell yeah. Well, man, this has been fun.
Yeah.
Looking forward to
Thanks for
everything.
having me, guys.
Appreciate you letting me book you a show as well.
Yeah, yeah.
July 5th.
Yeah, let them know.
Yeah.
Let them know. We're
Hell yeah,
coming.
Sideways Barbecue, Rockwell, Texas. If this is out by then, hopefully it is.
Yeah.
Braden Stewart was supposed to play full
yeah.
band. Now
I'm
we
song swap.
upgraded. Now we upgraded.
And I'm song swapping with this man.
we're
man.
gonna have
We're gonna
Martin-
lock it in on the video. He's song swapping with Martin Antonio.
Yeah, here we go.
That is a can't miss
It is
event
locked
right there.
in.
It was tentative. Now
Locked
it's not.
in.
It's happening.
Yeah, it's locked in, dude.
Hell yeah.
yeah.
All right, brother. Well, this was super cool, man. Looking forward to everything you got coming. Cheers, boys.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Matt.
Cheers, bro.
It was good, brother.
Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Truth, Tall Tales, and Whiskey.